Hi, everyone. I'm Amuri Amin with glasses on in this episode, and welcome back to The Inner Eyes. We're now starting on episode 9 in this journey. After everything that you've been through, the fear, the chaos, the moments where you almost stop, you finally see it. The Emerald City. And in that moment, something inside you says, I made it. But before we go further, I want to talk about how this part of the journey is a bit different. Because now we're not just walking in one story, we're looking at three. I hinted in it in episode 8 when showing the differences between the book, the original film, and The Wiz. But it highlights that there are different paths, different expressions, but the same truth. Because no matter how the journey appears, the lessons remain. In the movie, I'm actually going to read the lyrics to this song. I probably sing it to this song that appears when they step out of the poppy field and go up to the gate. It says, You're out of the woods, you're out of the dark, you're out of the night. Step into the sun, step into the light. Keep straight ahead for the most glorious place on the face of the earth or sky. Hold on to your breath, hold on to your heart, hold on to your hope. Match up to the gate, march up to the gate and bid it open, open. And this part sticks out to me because it's showing that they've come from a place where they were in the poppy fields and beforehand they were in the woods. And now they've come to a place where they've finally reached their destination, which is the Emerald City in the land of Oz. And so now they can come from this place of darkness and they've come into the light, they've come into it bright, shining, and then they get to the gate. It says spiritually, you've come through the journey. You've gone through what some call the dark night of the soul. You've come through the storms, and now you're into the sunshine. And you have the strength that once you march up to the gate, you bid it open. You demand it open. You call it open. Because from a distance, the city is beautiful. It's radiant. It's green. There's emeralds everywhere. It's elevated above everything that they've experienced before. And this matters because the destination always looked complete before arrive. But in the book, they don't just walk into it. And also, as I said before, in the movie, there's a gate. It's massive. It's studded with emeralds reflecting the sunlight. There's a sign, ring the bell. And so they ring a bell. And only then are they acknowledged. A guardian appears, small in structure, reminiscent of the munchkins that Dorothy experienced before. He's green tinted with green hair, and he holds authority. And when they ask to see Oz, he's stunned. He says it's been many years since anyone has dared to ask to see him. He calls Oz powerful and terrible, and he warns them not to seek him lightly. Not every level you reach is meant to be entered into casually. Some require intention and awareness, and even then, access is controlled. And then something happens that changes everything. Before they are allowed inside, in the book, they are required to wear glasses. The book actually says spectacles, green spectacles. It must be locked onto their faces. They can't remove them. And only the guardian has the key. He holds them in a small, green, and shiny box. And he tells them if they don't wear them, then the brightness of the city will blind them. And this is where it goes deeper. Because what if it's not the full truth? What if the glasses are not just protecting them, but controlling what they see? In the original movie, Dorothy even asked because the guardian of the gate says that no one has ever seen Oz, not even him. And she says, but what if he's not real? Because once the glasses are on, then everything becomes green, everything becomes controlled. Everything that they see is a reflection of the tinted glass that's in front of them. When they go through the gate, the streets, the sky, the buildings, even the people are green. They are not seeing the city as it is, they are seeing it as they are allowed to see it. And this is how systems are maintained, not through force, but through shared perception. When everyone sees the same thing, no one questions it. Inside the city, everything appears perfect. There's perfect order, perfect structure. Emeralds are everywhere. The people appear happy. But what happens when they encounter the strangers, they don't engage, they don't connect. Because not everything that looks complete is alive. And before they meet Oz, they are prepared. If you remember in the movie, it's like the merry old land of Oz. Rinse, 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 chop, 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 and a couple of fa la las. It's all happy. It's all glee. It's all enthusiasm. They are cleaned in the film. They're styled. They are, the hair is done. The nails are done. The clothing is changed. The Tin Man is polished. And the Scarecrow is restuffed with new hay. Everything about them is adjusted because presentation becomes the proof of their worthiness. Before you're granted access to power, you are expected to look the part. And this is not just Oz, this is life. How you present yourself, how you are perceived, often determines the doors that open. And in the original film, something appears. As they have finished up the chorus of singing the fa la las, the witch appears, writing something in the sky in black. Surrender, Dorothy. It's public, it's visible, it's unavoidable. And we have to be clear that this moment only exists in the film and not in the book, not in the whiz. And this matters because each version shows control differently. In the film, it's direct, a command, a demand, but spiritually, it holds a second meaning because surrender is not always the same. One surrender takes your power, the other reveals it. Let me say that again. One surrender takes your power, while the other reveals it. The witch demands surrender. Give up the slippers, give up control, give up your path. But the journey itself requires a different surrender. Let go of who you are. Let go of who you perceive that you are. Let go of how you thought things would happen. Let go of control so you can grow. Not every call to surrender must be obeyed. In the book, there is no message in the sky, no public threat. Instead, control is quieter. The rules, the structure, the expectations. In the book, control is built in. And in the whiz, it becomes immersive. Colors change everything. First, we start with green. You got to be seen in green. Then a booming voice comes on, trumpet sound, and it says the ultimate color is red. And then they continue along, the citizens of Oz dancing and moving in synchronous pattern. And next, you know, the trumpet sound again. And he defines red old and that the ultimate color is gold. Each shift changes how the people move. With gold, it's now upbeat. It's gold and gold. And they are moving in a manner that is excited, that has a lot more rhythm. It tailors how they respond. The cameras are all around, animated. The microphones are also animated, not like how I punch it every time I get too close to it. The cameras are watching and recording. People are sitting around wanting themselves to be filmed, to have pictures taken of them. The voice, though, the voice directs attention. In this version, control is not just spoken, it is experienced. And then, and then they're called to meet Oz. What happens in the whiz is that as they were running from the cameras, it caught them. Oz was able to see them. They weren't on the large screen, but they were in his eye. In the book, Oz wants them to enter into his chamber alone, one at a time and one per day. And when they meet them, he's not the same. Dorothy sees a head with no body. The Scarecrow sees a beautiful woman with wings. She's a fairy. That was meant on purpose. The Tin Man sees a horrible beast, as giant as an elephant, with the head of a rhinoceros, with 5 eyes, 5 arms, 5 legs, strong and hairy, a terrible beast. The lion, the lion was so courageous in the lobby with the others, where he talked of, if I see the head, I'm going to roll it. If I see the beast, I'm going to roar at him. If I see the fairy, I'm going to command her into submission. So with the lion, he was presented with fire, a great and terrible fire. In each one, Oz represented and presented himself. To Dorothy, she said, "You are so powerful, and yet I am meek and but a girl." The Tin Men said, "Here you are, mighty. Would you please grant my poor soul a heart?" Each one gave power to Oz and gave weak one. I'm going to have to stitch together 2 videos because a neighbor has a giant power truck in front of the house, his work truck, and it was making a tremendous amount of noise. So I do apologize about that. But each one of them sees something different, but it's the same source appearing differently to the companions. Because what you believe shapes what you see. Your mind sees what it understands. Your fears see what it expects. Your desires sees what it hopes for. The movies, though, they differ from the book with the introduction of Oz. But then comes the condition. In order to get what you want, you have to earn it. In Oz, it has the quid pro quo system. You're not granted your desires without first committing to a deed. With this one, Oz says, "Kill the witch of the West, and then you will receive what you came for." And this is where everything shifts, because what they thought was a destination is actually another beginning. Dorothy came for home, the Scarecrow for a brain, the Tin Men for a heart, and the lion for courage. And instead, they are given a task. The destination doesn't always give you what you want, it reveals what you still have to do. So they leave, not fulfilled, but redirected. And this is the truth of the Emerald City. It's beautiful, it's convincing, it's structured, but it is not the end. Not everything that looks like arrival is freedom. This is the inner Oz. This is where the journey isn't just about reaching a destination, it is about seeing it clearly. And you see it clearly once you arrive. And I will see you on the next episode on the journey of the Yellow Brick Road.